Yo, what's up, y'all? So today is the 8th of May, 2024, and I'm back at y'all with another video. So today I want to talk about the spirit of distraction and spiritual warfare or demonic warfare, and this also ties into technology as well. So the first thing I want to mention is you guys may already know that many of these devices, like your phone, your tablets, your computers, these platforms, these social media apps, they're designed to keep you addicted, right? Because basically, the more time you spend on these platforms and devices, the more money they make, right? That's how YouTube works. That's how the gaming industry works. That's how Instagram and everything else works. The more time you can keep a person on there, basically, the more money you can make. So we're going to get that out the way. Now, unfortunately, these are also designed to keep you distracted. Okay, these work together with distraction to keep you distracted from other things, such as whatever else you need to get done just in your life in general. And what I want to do is I want to give you guys three stories or three instances or experiences that I had in the last 3 years, starting from maybe 2020 to 2021 all the way up to now. From like 2020 to 2023. So basically, here's the first story. Okay, I believe it was 2020. I bought a tablet. It was a Microsoft tablet and fairly new. Well, it was actually brand new. And after maybe a few days of having it, I decided to leave my tablet on my. I have a small desk where I used to charge all my devices like my phone, my iPad, my computer. I put my tablet on this table for it to charge. Right now, before I sat it there, I remembered to shut down the tablet. Right, so I didn't just lock the screen. I actually turned off the tablet. I powered it down. Right, and I decided to take a nap afterwards. So I sat on the table, then I laid down to take a nap. In the middle of my nap, I woke up and I looked up at the ceiling and I noticed a glare from a light, like a light glare on the top of the ceiling. So I lifted my head off the pillow and I looked and I noticed that my tablet, the screen was illuminated over there sitting on the table. So then I was thinking in my head, I said, I know for a fact that I turned down or I powered off the tablet before I sat it there. So it wouldn't be no reason for the screen to be illuminated. So then I said, and I said this audibly, I said this out loud, I said, why is my tablet on? Why is my tablet turned on? And a little bit after I said that, the screen shut off. Okay. So then I was thinking, it's like, I know for a fact that that didn't happen, right? So I got up out of bed from taking my nap, and I looked at my tablet, and sure enough, it was powered off, right? The screen wasn't just locked, it was actually powered off. So at that time, I thought that was kind of weird, right? So I think that was like 2020 or 2021. I think that experience happened, right? So the second experience I had, which was actually just last year of 2023, you know how sometimes you sleep with your phone kind of close to you, in close proximity to you when you're sleeping? So I went to sleep, and while I was asleep, I noticed I heard like a very faint noise, right? It sounded like kind of the do 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 do, kind of like that, right? It sounded similar to, for those of you who are old enough to remember, the how computer or the how the internet dial-up used to sound back in like you guys remember AOL, some of you, and the computer dial-up. That's kind of how it sounded a little bit, but it was very faint. It was so faint that you probably had to hold your breath just to hear the sound. That's how faint it was. It's like just your regular breathing is too loud to hear it. You had to like hold your breath to hear the sound, and I can't explain it, but all of a sudden, like I didn't hear anything, but it's almost like information got downloaded into my head, and something said, "Your phone is on 77%," right? And then I woke up, right? I woke up. And when I woke up, I was like, if my phone is on 77%, then I know something strange is going on, right? So I leaned over, I picked up my phone, I put in my code, and sure enough, my phone was at 77%. And at that moment, I knew, okay, something is going on. That's crazy, right? Now, I did start thinking about something. You know how they say that it's not good to sleep with your devices too close to too close to your bed when you're sleeping because your devices are constantly sending signals back and forth, and these signals can disrupt your sleep. So I thought about it for a little bit and I said, okay, if the signals can disrupt my sleep, that means that your body is receiving these signals in some kind of way, right? And I wondered if that's what happened. I wondered if I was able to kind of download the information almost like did I pick up a signal that my devices were sending back and forth? That's what I was thinking. But I was also another side of me also said, is there something spiritual going on here? Like, is my phone possessed? Like, what is going on here? Right? So that's the second experience. And hold on, I'm gonna pause 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right, so now I'm going to give you guys the third story. And I think this was maybe 2021. And these stories are not in chronological order. I'm just kind of giving it to you the way it's coming. But the third one is, and this is probably, I don't know, this might be the craziest one, but there was a time in my life when, I was having a lot of health issues. I was having a lot of financial issues. I was unemployed. Things are just weren't going too well for me, right? And so I decided to break away from a lot of distractions, right? So I decided to delete all the social media apps off my phone. I decided to cancel my subscriptions, like Netflix and Hulu and all those streaming apps or streaming services. I decided to get rid of the games and stuff and really just disconnect and really get more focused, right? So that night, I remember the night that this was the night when I first started. The day I decided to do this, that very night of the first night of me disconnected from social media and things, I had a weird vision, weird dream. In the dream, I was being attacked by a ferocious lion, right? Now, some of you may laugh at this, but I was attacked by a ferocious lion. But this lion was extremely powerful. Lions are already powerful, but this lion was extremely powerful, but it was attacking me as if it had like a personal issue with me, something against me personally, right? And then I woke up in the morning. Now, when I first woke up, the very first thought that came to my mind was the devil roams the earth like a roaring lion seeking who he may destroy. The devil roams the earth like a roaring lion seeking who he may destroy. And I was like, wow, that's crazy that I had a vision like that, and that's the first thing I thought about when I woke up. So I thought about it for a minute, but I put two and two together. I started to think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm starting to think that in a way, for a long time, I may not have realized it, but I think for a long time, these devices, these social media, these apps and things have been keeping me bound or sort of hindering me in a way. It was like a stronghold that I was not aware of, which I think is basically distraction and procrastination. Distraction and procrastination. That's why earlier, like I said earlier in the video, how I think that there's something spiritual also going on with these devices. Now, I'm going to give you my personal opinion. I think that these devices are being used to monitor us. Now, of course, you probably already heard a lot of people say they believe these devices are spying on us, and they probably are. In fact, I think you have some companies that have admitted that they already have a lot of tracking stuff going on in these devices. But I think that they're not telling us everything. I think there's a little bit more to it. I think that we're being monitored even when the devices are off and so forth. And I even think there might even be something spiritual even going on. Especially that night when I had the dream about the 77%. When I said I'm at 77%, I was like, because one side of me said, did I pick up a signal that it was sending? And then another side of me said, is my phone possessed? Like, is there something spiritual going on? And this strong attachment that we have to these devices is almost scary these days because, you have a lot of people these days, they feel naked without their phones on them. So I just want to give you guys that, I just want to give you these three stories, these three experiences. There is one more thing that I did experience. I'm not sure if I want to share it or not. I'm not sure how relevant it is. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and share it. There's actually maybe two more things, but I'm gonna go ahead and share it with y'all. In 2020, April of 2020, this is during the pandemic, so a lot of people started spending a lot more time online streaming, right? And I would never forget. I didn't really know much about live streaming at that time, but I was stuck in the house, so I needed to socialize somehow, some kind of way. So I felt live streaming was a good way, which it was. But I remember when I first downloaded the app and started getting to it, I would never forget. And I do believe that this was the Holy Spirit speaking to me. He said, another distraction, right? And I kind of ignored it a little bit. I wasn't sure if it was the Holy Spirit or not at that time. Now thinking back at it, now I do believe it was the Holy Spirit. But when it first happened, I was like, nah, it's not. I didn't think that it would be such a big issue. But I did notice once I started getting on live stream, especially during the pandemic, I was up 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning on these crazy live streams, talking basically about nothing. And especially in 2020, that's when my health issues started kind of exacerbate because of the lack of sleep and just the lack of structure. A lot of people lost structure during the pandemic or during the quarantine. So I do believe that that's just something else I wanted to add to it. Just the dangers of some of these devices and live stream. Now I don't think they're 100%. Excuse me. I don't think they're 100% bad, but I think you just got to be careful with these devices. They can be used for good and used for bad as well. And I guess maybe I'll share one more thing. I don't want to make the video too long, but I want to share one more thing. I'm going to go ahead. I thought about it for a minute. I said, let me go ahead and share it. Back in 2007, I just started college. I hadn't been in college my first semester. And I remember during this time, I started spending a lot more time on my computer. This is when I started making beats. Some of you don't know it. I do make beats. I still do to this day, but that's when I really started kind of getting into it. And I felt like I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be the next music producer and whatever. So I felt like the more hours I spent making beats, the higher my chances were. But I got once again, I got into a habit of being up really late making beats, sometimes going a day or two without sleep. And I will never forget this. One day this was like in the afternoon or something, or in the evening, and I was up, and I think I had not slept for a while, maybe for a day. and I would never forget. And this sounds crazy, but I heard, well, I didn't necessarily hear, but I sort of picked up a, I want to explain this the best way I can, like a whisper, like two people having a conversation, and one person said, "We can use this to destroy him, or we can use this against him." And then I heard something that said 10 years. 10 years. In 10 years, we can use this against him, and it can destroy him in like 10 years, right? But that was a whisper that I heard. But it wasn't, now, it kind of came as just a thought in my head, but it was like, it's almost like I'm hearing somebody else's thoughts somewhere. That's the best way to describe it. Like I was able to hear somebody else's thoughts. And even then, I said, nah, I denied it. I said, that's not going to work once again, right? So this was in 2007. And between 2007 and 2017, those were the years where I used to spend a lot of time playing video games, and, a lot of times on social media, definitely addicted to social media and games and stuff. And by the time 2017, actually 2016 to be exact, but by 2017, that's the year when a lot of the health issues from lack of sleep and lack of exercise and living a very sedentary lifestyle because of the electronics started to take a toll, where I wound up losing my job and losing my car, and just because I was having a lot of health issues and couldn't work due to the sedentary lifestyle, because of spending too much time gaming and stuff like that. So that's when I thought about, I said, that spirit or voice or whatever it is I heard back in 2007 was right, and it was actually, I believe, were demons. That may sound crazy, but I do believe that these were two demons having a discussion on how they can use the technology and the devices as a way to kind of snare me, and destroy me. And I think that demonic spirits are more at work than people may realize. I think that some things seem harmless, some things seem very subtle, like they're not demonic, but they are. But you have to pay very close attention. You have some people out here who have addictions, and at first it looks like, oh, this person just has an addiction to something, whether it's drugs or sex or whatever. But in some cases, there's actually spirits involved, but they're very subtle. They're very subtle. So, but that's just my personal opinion. So, and that, like I said, that story that I just told you just now, that might have a connection to the experience that I had, like I said, a couple years ago, when I decided to break away from social media and stuff. Then I had the vision of being attacked by the lion, and then woke up in the morning and the lion said, I mean, not the lion, but the first thought was, the devil roams the earth like a roaring lion, seeking who he may destroy. And these devices might be one of those things that he's using. So that's just my personal opinion. I know this video is a lot longer than I really intended it to be, but I guess that's it for now, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Oh, and make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment and tell me what y'all think. If you had any experiences, or what do you think of my experiences?